Aloha and bonjour, good afternoon. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz and I'm joining you on behalf of the World Tourism Network. And with us is eTurbo News and Livestream.travel. And today we're celebrating another tourism hero. We have now 26 tourism heroes in the World Tourism Network. And our number 26, it doesn't mean it's our last tourism hero, but it's the last one appointed, is Mr. Michel Nahon, and I'm so sorry if I pronounced this right. He's from Paris.
You can say the way you want.
French.
Understood every language.
German and English is all I understand. But Michel will tell us a little bit about himself and about Paris. He just told me he is just steps from the Eiffel Tower. What a wonderful place to be. Welcome, Michel, and congratulations, first of all.
Hi, Jürgen. I hope you're okay in Hawaii and everything is okay, and also people all around the world.
Yeah, no, we're trying to survive, and I think we're all in this together, and everyone has challenges. But we're still laughing. We're surviving. I think that's the important part, right?
This is passion. Passion is when you love someone, you love the person. When he's alive, you love the person. When he's sick, this is real passion. And if you love tourism, you must love him, whatever the circumstances are. And this is why I love tourism.
Yeah, and tourism is not only one of our largest industries. I think 10% of the world population roughly is employed directly and indirectly in tourism, but it still remains a small family. And it's really a people business. You know, you can, like, I talked to you in Paris, I'm in Hawaii, born in Germany. We're very international. We have people from all over the world working together. And we don't really have wars in tourism because once you look someone in the eye, you don't want to smash the face. So it's a business of peace, and that's what we really need these days.
Oh, yeah. And we have so many people in our trade, in our business, that are not working in the country where they were born, which is your case and also mine. But so many people have this multi-talent and multi-nationality and multi-ethnicity, and which makes very easy for people to understand themselves wherever they are.
No, absolutely. But tell us a little bit more about your company and what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Voyage Solidaire started 10 years ago with the idea we had with some friends, DMCs, which means incoming travel agents, all around the world, saying why does the philanthropic and caritative tourism doesn't come into the real network of travel agencies? Why is it only with few associations? And also, why are the figures not evaluating just like it does for food, just like it does for nutricity? Which means that, let's say 20 years ago, people would know that it was better to eat better food, that it was better to change the way they drive or the way they go from one place to another. And it was not only in their brain, it was also in their actions. Yeah. Okay, so the action comes that for food and for motricity, people have changed in their mind and also in their actions. Whereas in tourism, it was, well, a few polls said that 2 people out of 3, which is 70% of the population, wanted to bring something more to the tourism, not only go for holidays, but also with something in their mind. And unfortunately, the figures have not evaluated, which means that where 60% of people want to have a conscious travel, in the reality, in France and probably all around Europe, the figures are still the same. Around 1% of the population who is traveling with something in mind, like solidarity, philanthropy, or everything. And we said, why? Probably because things don't really change. And how can we change it? We try to discuss with the operators, with the wholesalers, and say, why don't you bring solidarity? Why don't you bring something more sustainable in your trips? And they said, no, we're not really interested. We want to make money, we want to make markups, volume, that's all which is interesting. So we decided 5 years ago to create the first cooperative of DMCs in the world. Each of them is exclusive on its destination. And what we do is we have hired, well, we have contracted with NGOs in France and a few of them around the world. And when the client is traveling from one place to another and buying land accommodations, 10% of this amount is going to the NGO is chosen. What is new is not only the fact that it's a cooperative, which means that it's the first wholesaler who is owned by different DMCs around the world. It's also that we separate the donation to the destination. What was the common sense before was you will go to this country and a certain amount of your trip will be given to local NGOs or local associations or local communities. And what we say is, why do you have to go to this place to be conscious of what is needed in another part of the world? And why would it be a certain part and not a real part? So what we do is we negotiate and partner with NGOs in France, and they do the advertising for us, which means they tell all their donators and friends and subscribers or everything, go wherever you want, and 10% of the amount of your land accommodation will be given to our NGO. And we have determined also a system with our bank, which is a split payment at the moment of the payment, which makes sure that people will first pay 10% to the NGO and then pay the local agent. And main difference also, well, you probably heard of some crisis and trouble with major operators, where all the monies received are put in one simple basket. And then there is a financial manager who pays debts or pays accounts to different. And what we decided is each of them has his own account on our bank system, which makes that there is no mix, no mélange between all the money is received. Everyone has its single system. It looks a little bit like Sovco's system, where the cooperative, which means that everyone has its own ways of production, and we share what is common. What is common is publicity, which is promotion, which is negotiations with the NGOs. And today we have in the program we have 72 destinations. We have already hired 20 and something NGOs in France. And believe me, since the beginning of the crisis, we have about 3 new contracts signed every week with NGOs in France. And they can be in various themes and various topics like culture, environment, health, education, and childhood. And last, we have human rights. And at this point, can I keep on? No problem.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, good. We have developed a tool which is Travel Score. Travel Score is a little bit like Nutri-Score, which is very well known in France and probably also in main European countries. Nutri-Score is what you're eating, good or not good, as far as cholesterol, fat, gluten, and everything. And we said, okay, but what's the point with this? Okay, I know that I'm eating something good and I know that I'm eating something bad, but what does it change at the end of the day? And we said we should drink something a little bit more than this. And we have sourced 3 different we have sourced sorry, there was a meeting. We have sourced 3 different information from 3 different places. One is Yale University as far as environment is concerned with COP21. The second one is cato.org, which is like a note for human rights and economic rights in the world. And also we take the distance between France and the destination. And out of this, we make a note. And the note is a travel score note. This is for each country, because it's important for us to say to people, we are very, we know you will be very keen on what your footprints will be in this country, but also we would like first you to know where you put your foot. before that. So apart from this, I know it's a bit complicated, but I will send you and probably you'll understand better. The second part is we ask all our DMCs to give a note between 1 and 50 to each program they produce with us. Question is, will this hotel work with local communities? Is the food taken from around or brought from other places? How is the ecology and all this in this hotel? Will people meet local people? Will there be a way to save energy going from one place to another? Is everything sustainable? To name it clear. And from this note, we said, okay, they have a note, and we need them to have something more than only a note. So we had what we call the incentive, which is not only incentive but also incense, and we provide a discount which is equal to the number of the note, which means that if this trip has like 86 out of 100, they will get 86% discount on the PNR files, on the files fees, which is 100 euros per group, whatever the number of persons. So the more sustainable is the destination, the more sustainable is the program by itself, which can be a stay in a hotel or a tour or anything, and the more discounts they have on these fees, which is a way to tell people, try to choose as much as you can this program rather than the other one, this country rather than the other one. And we not judge, we just say, go ahead and don't hesitate. I'm sorry, Jürgen, it's probably a little bit confusing.
No, it's quite interesting, and I think, and hopefully, I don't know if you're a member of our organization, the World Tourism Network, but if you're not, I encourage you to become a member. We have interest groups, and this would be a good interest group. We also have the community tourism group, is under the leadership of a lady from Jamaica who has been.
I'm part of a school, of course, COMEX in Paris, and also World Travel Network. I don't think we had that many people in France. Probably one day we should try to organize something and make it more popular in France. I mean, among the travel agents. Well, France is still a country which is very important. Well, I've checked on your listing of French, people in France, and I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, that it's very representative of the French tourism trade. But maybe there's something we can help there and probably make it a little bit more popular and interesting for people to be member of it.
We would love that. And obviously, France is one of the most important countries in the world when it comes
to... thank you. You know how to speak.
So that is definitely a given. And I see we have, I'm actually on the board of an organization what is based in France. So you may know Philippe Francois. He's the Association for Hospitality and Tourism Education.
Oh yeah, I'm for. We have, yes, we have a partnership with them for the school.
Right.
Agreement, I think 2 years ago at the ILTM, which is the equivalent of World Travel Market in France, same organization, READ.
Right.
And we have signed an agreement with them because, of course, school people are very much involved in the hospitality, and so it was important for us to be member of, to have a partnership with them.
Yeah, and we do work with SCOL. I'm a SCOL member myself as well. And so we have been working with SCOL over many years, both on our media side for eTurbo News, but also with the organization. So I see there's some good touching points. And SCOL is a great organization because you get people together on the social platform. And it's the largest and oldest travel association in the world. So
Born 1932 in Paris, and by the way, we will have the opportunity and pleasure to welcome Bill Reum, the 2021 president, in Paris in 2 weeks. And I'm very sorry for both Jim Morrison from New Zealand and Bill Reum, because it was not really good year to be president of school. Usually these people travel from one place to another, welcome like kings. all around the world. And for the last 2 years, they could not really travel and be as much as a representation. And I believe it must be very frustrating. So very.
That's why we have Zoom, we don't.
Of course. But well, it's not like going from one place to another, meeting people, and
Absolutely.
well, like Minister of Foreign Affairs for a government to be president of school is well, of course, a real position, but also possibility to meet people around the world, which is unfortunately not the case for the last 2 years. Hopefully, it will change. Hopefully.
And that's what SCOL is all about. It's a people-to-people organization.
Of course. Well, business among friends. That's the basic.
Absolutely. And
that's the basic.
And in our organization, we started because of the crisis. I don't know if you know this. We started in Berlin on the sideline of an ITB that was canceled. So many of the people were stranded, including SCOL in Berlin. We had a meeting with SCOL people from all over the world, and some of them attended our start with rebuilding travel. What was it? The Grand Hyatt Hotel in Berlin. And so we go way back with SCOL, also with PATA. PATA was a partner, the Pacific Asia Travel Association, the Nepal Tourism Board, and the African Tourism Board. That's how our initiative was started.
I followed that. Well, all this information coming from your World Travel Network and Rebuilding Travel, and I don't think as you can probably understand, I'm very much interested in what you're doing, not only on the international scale, but also specifically for this kind of travel, how we can rebuild, how we can think different. And this is probably one of the things we try to do with the cooperative, to put each DMC in front of his own responsibilities. There is no, this intermediation that we have between 3 or 4 people, between the client and the final provider, which is a hotel or a group company or a tour company. There is only one. One is the DMC, is at the end of the day is always the one who pays the bill for everyone. When there is a problem, he has to solve it local, is the one who brings the program to the operators. And we try to have a common solution for all of them. Once again, each of them are exclusive on their country, so there is no competition between 2 or 3, just like some platforms would do. They are very much involved. They're not serving our clients; they are serving their own clients, and well, they don't have any money or finance problem because they get the money direct from the client on their bank account in France, which is probably one of the way to solve all the problems with transcription between the processing of the reservation, and especially today when you have so many ways to communicate between people, like WhatsApp, like Skype, like telephone, like SMS, like emails, phone calls. People never know what was said, what was written, what was agreed between 2 people, because there are so many ways to communicate. Now we have only one. Each client has his own file in his dedicated space, and whoever in the local company can have a look at it and say, no, there can't be no mistake because everything is written here. So there is no discussion, no argument about the way the file has been processed.
It's a very interesting system. And how's business now? I mean, with COVID, is it functioning? Yes. Okay. I want to ask more, but hopefully, I don't know how you see it. I mean, the situation now in France, and I know not a lot, but I think numbers are going up everywhere in the world. They do go up here in Hawaii, scarily. It's scary, but I think Europe isn't any different, right?
Well, in France, as far as local business is concerned, it's quite the same. I mean, hotels are quite happy. The only thing is that they have had French customers instead of international customers, which is not really the same as far as expenses are concerned. For example, people don't spend as much as foreigners, but the yield management is not exactly the same as it used to be in the hotels. but still they survive. Same for restaurants. It's quite impossible today in France to go into a restaurant without queuing up or wait online, as Americans say, for a while, because everything is full all the time. Like if there was nothing to eat before, which is really not the case. And no, well, the main problem is for going outside of France, traveling abroad. I spoke with a friend travel agent yesterday, and she told me, well, the only point is that before you could do your business in 10 minutes, 20 minutes per customer or per file. Now it needs about 24 hours to solve everything. And the worst that can happen is that one client is registering and buying a booking for a destination, and the destination closes. So you have to refund the client and also get the money back from the local DMC, and then do another file for a new destination, and so on, which is just a nightmare. In this case, we have been quite lucky because we were about to start in April 2020. And of course, we never started really. All we could do is expand the number of destinations that we have up to 70 now. But we didn't have one customer for the moment. When we applied for the government aids and assistance in France, with financial support and everything, they told us, okay, no problem. We would just give you the difference between last year's business and this year's business. Well, 0 minus 0 is 0. How much can we get? Our friendship. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate
That's how these are how government works. Yeah.
Well, you know, we have this zombie situation in France. Many restaurants, hotels, travel agencies, tour operators have received lots of monies from the government, which helped them survive during the pandemic. The main question is, will they be able to start again now that the financial support from the government will end at the end of September?
Yeah, and that's definitely
how's
the situation with employment. I know here in my part of the world, we have wanted signs everywhere. There's not enough people in the hospitality business because many got out of the business when everything closed. So now we can't get them back fast enough.
We have exactly the same problem in France. Well, this is probably one of the reasons why there's so many queues in front of the restaurant, not only because restaurants have to check their pass, the sanitary pass, and showing that they are vaccinated or they have this PCR test. No, it's quite messy also in France, especially in restaurants, food business, quite complicated.
And I know Americans can't wait to come back to France and see the Eiffel Tower. It is. I think it's the #1 destination for Americans of a European city, isn't it?
Yeah, well, apart from well, I think London is not too bad, but London is too expensive for them, and really, well, they have this language. Although most Americans don't understand when English people are speaking English, but that's another another problem. No, I think they love Paris. They love Italy also, and they are very right. Italy is such a wonderful country and wonderful civilization and everything. Well, I've spent my holidays in Italy once again, so that's probably why I'm a little bit more enthusiastic that I should be. But no, they come very much to France, and thanks compared to other tourists, they don't eat Paris like 3 days and run from one place to another. They spend more time, they enjoy, they very often come for the second or third time, which is the ideal tourist should be people who come for the second or third time in your country, because they have seen what everyone wanted to see, what they were, well, they came to see something, so they saw something like the Eiffel Tower. And the real traveler is someone that sees what it was not supposed to see, feel what it was not supposed, and touch, taste, all this you have to like renew your life, rebuild your own life. And most of them to discover themselves. I don't ask why I came here for. I don't ask, do I recognize myself in another country, in another position, in another circumstance, which is what travel should be for.
And I think we're going to see some changes in the tourism behavior because of the virus. I think especially the party and disco and nightlife, it's going to be out for a little bit, I think, before this kicks back. And
yeah.
People probably spend more times in a destination because it's simply also more complicated to get from B to C. It's better just to go from A to B and enjoy it. So hopefully tourism is recreated in a better way. We all learn, but we all need to get out of this crisis, and people are tired of being locked up at home and not being able to go anywhere. So I think once tourism opens, we will see good numbers, and that's what happened here in Hawaii. We have record numbers of tourists coming in here, but it's scary if the virus is climbing in infection rate at the same time. And so there are many people, even our governor told tourists it's better for you to stay home. So it's really uncharted territory for everyone.
Well, of course, I'm not Minister of Health in no country, but let's face it. What's the main problem of going to another country is that you have to wear a mask to prevent yourself from getting the virus. Okay, what does it make with the difference when you take the elevator from one floor to another? It's the same. You will meet people, you will be faced with people, you will sit down in a restaurant, and wherever you are in the world, the disease can be exactly the same. Just protect yourself, just get vaccinated, and that's it. And then you are in the same safety and the same danger wherever you are in the world. You can get the COVID in your elevator, and you can get COVID in the bus, in the metro, in your car, in everything. Once you're wearing a mask and you're fully vaccinated, there is no more risk in any other countries. That's all. You live exactly the same way. When you meet people, you wear your mask, and that's it. So
and that is the point. So hopefully this will convince some of those that are against vaccination to change their mind, because it's really where the problem is. In France, in Europe, and also here in the United States, we have enough vaccine, but we don't have enough people who actually take the vaccine. So it's an insane situation where there are other countries that are desperate to get more of the vaccine and they cannot get it. So
with the COVAX, of course. Well,
it's not created equal, but that's why we need people like you who lead this world, lead this industry, and I'm sure we will hear a lot more about you. And if anyone who's listening now want to learn more about Michael, right? It's how do you pronounce your first name?
Michel.
Michel, okay. Because
Michel, but Michael stands as well.
Michael or Michel, same spelling. You can now actually go to heroes.travel, look under France, and you will find Michael's profile, also linked to the website. And Michael, you are our first hero in France, so you have no competition in France. So if anyone clicking on France,
I killed them all.
They cannot get lost. But I wanted to thank you again, congratulate you, and hopefully we see you on some of our upcoming sessions for World Tourism Network. For those that wanted to register for any of our sessions, you can go to worldtourismevents.com. We have a lot going on in this month, in September, because of World Tourism Day. And our first event related, tomorrow we're going to have an event with the Maldives. And then I believe on the 24th, if I'm not mistaken, we have an event with accessible tourism. It's led by Pankaj, a member in Nepal. And then we're going to celebrate heroes. And that's, of course, we're going to also invite Michael to be part of this. So and any one from our heroes who wanted to be part of this event is invited. So that's going to be on World Tourism Day itself. We're also going to team up with tour guides all over the world. And then last but not least, we're going to meet Professor Jeffrey Lipman, and we're relaunching the International the ICTP, and I'm not going to tell you what it would stand for, but it has to do with environmental and climate-friendly travel. So it's an initiative what is supported actually by the government of Malta initially and SunX. So we're very excited to make this announcement. And Jeffrey, who is in Belgium, not far from Paris, this discussion. But Michelle, I wanted to thank you very much for attending, and congratulations to enter we call it the International Hall of Heroes, and for being the first one in France, and considering the importance of France, that is quite an achievement. Well, I, I can only say from this part of the world, bonjour and aloha. And
Aloha.
Last words.
Dank zeer, and have a nice night. We'll have a nice day because we have something like 12 hours difference, and thank you for staying late and match with our own schedule. But I think that there are so many good points in living in Hawaii that sometimes it's good for you to sleep late. Not a problem.
Yeah, we're time-wise, I think we're probably in the worst place in the world, or sometimes in the best place of the world, because we catch some of the daylight in East Asia, and we can go as far as Europe. As it's now 9:30 here in the evening, makes it 9:30 in the morning in France. So
Exactly.
It's very easy. So it's a global world.
We are night and day.
All right. Thank you very much, Michelle. And you have a great day. And everyone else who is watching us now live, this one was recorded on September 6th. So it's not live. So unfortunately, you cannot ask immediate question. But if you do have questions, just go to worldtourwtn.travel, or you can go to our heroes.travel website, click on contact, and we'll be happy to answer these questions. If they're for Michel, we will forward it to him. And if you watch us live now, this will be repeated every 2 hours for the next 24 hours from the time you see it. And after this, it's going to be in the profile for Michel, and it's also going to be on livestream.travel in our archive. And of course, you will find it in our YouTube archive and can listen to it as many times as you want. Well, thank you very much again, and you have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Jürgen. See you, and hopefully have the opportunity to meet you in real one day.
In Paris at the Eiffel Tower. Take care.
I'm not scared. You may come whenever you want.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.